been listening to the death of the U.S. dollar since 1966. Every 2 years, somebody comes along and says, this is the death of the U.S. dollar. You only have to ask yourself one question. If you're a sovereign wealth fund, I don't care what country, Middle East country, Eastern, Western Europe, where is the majority of your wealth right now?
And we'll finish up with that. We got Kevin O'Leary before this video's out, so make sure you watch this one to the end. But with that, what's happening, Crypto Crew? Sean's coming back at you, another cryptocurrency video, getting straight into it and continuing. We have the latest from Ethereum, the Shanghai upgrade. We see Ethereum's price take off. This is why. And they're saying that this will be a game changer for Ethereum token holders. This is what the RockX CEO is saying. The growing prevalence of staking could help establish a benchmark interest rate for blockchain-based money market. And it jumped up over 2,000 a day after this upgrade. With that 5% move, institutional investors remain in a wait-and-see mode. So why are they in this wait-and-see mode? At the current time of this recording, we see Bitcoin's up over $30,000 at 30.4K, and Ethereum at the current time of this recording is a little below 2,100 at 2077. Taking a look at the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. This is a very important chart, and you have to understand what you're looking at. Why do we care about Ethereum? Because Ethereum leads the alt market. If Ethereum runs up, then the alts are going to follow. But will Ethereum run into some resistance? So looking back all the way back to 2015, we have this macro support line that acted as resistance at one point, support, and we've never came back down to retest it since back here in December of 2020. One thing we want you to be mindful of is this macro blue line as well, another support line. We came back and it intersected here. We tested it once, twice, and look what happened. We just broke through this line here. We actually had a short call out from the EMA ribbons. And this EMA ribbon with Ethereum running up actually came up and just retested this. So we fell through this, came back and retested the EMA ribbons. So we fell through the ribbons, came back and retested, flipped it to potential resistance. Zooming out again, once again on the price action. Look at the RSI below, we see we topped out and Ethereum has just been putting in lower lows and lower highs. And basically this is the trend. The trend's your friend to the end. Once we break this downtrend convincingly, then we can probably say that, but we could go below this 30 level. As you see back here, the last time we were overbought and went to oversold, we came down to those levels again. So there's a good chance that Ethereum's gonna melt against Bitcoin. How low will Ethereum go? Well, look, once again, we just fell through this trend line. The current time of this recording, where the price action is, we could come back down to at least this level here. This could be about a 17.5% move where that yellow line is, or we could come back down to this macro resistance. It's almost a 40% melt against Bitcoin. So right now is the time to be in Bitcoin. Until you see this EMA showing different, this just got called this week. And you see what happens when shorts are called? Falls off a cliff. We have the halving next year, so 2023 technically could be, coming up out the bear market, but not time to be in alts potentially. Back in 2016 and 17, this was after the halving. Ethereum short a short call and then blasted off. Shortly after the halving, you see what happened. Ethereum fell off a cliff. So we still have some time to the halving. Ethereum could melt against Bitcoin. The price might be in as far as that Shanghai upgrade. Look at the Bitcoin dominance as well. The Bitcoin dominance has been all the way overbought, and we broke that trend. The trend's your friend to the end. We just been stair-stepping our way up. Now, we did break up over this 70 level down here in the RSI. Something to be mindful of. We could come back down and potentially keep putting in higher highs as time progresses. But all in all, the trend's your friend to the end, and Bitcoin's going up and to the right as far as the Bitcoin dominance. What's the major level we have to pay attention to? Zooming into this price action is where we are right now, around that 47 to 48% level. Because as you see here, this is a macro level of resistance. We've hit our head on this once, twice, 3 times. It looks like Bitcoin's just like knocking on the door multiple times. So once we get through this, if we have a similar move like we did back here when we fell, but to the upside, you can see Bitcoin back up over 50+%, maybe into the 60 range if this continues to play out. Time will definitely tell. TA Trader Allen's given his take on the market. When Bitcoin fails to break down from a rising wedge, it tends to find the bottom and start a new trend. most likely a new all-time high. And as you see, every time we have these wedges and Bitcoin doesn't break down from them, it breaks up from them, new highs every single time. Rinse, repeat. We just broke up out of this. Another update from him: Bitcoin tends to reach 730% above the POC and volume profile within the halving cycle. If Bitcoin chooses to do the same in the next halving cycle, it'll reach 200K. So what he's looking at here in the charts is the longest part of the POC. He's stretching it out 730%, and he's saying that's where Bitcoin goes to, at least 730%. So if that's the case, we could be seeing 200,000. Could we see this looking at the Bitcoin charts? Most definitely, because if we look about a year out, he's saying by April of 2024, you see we have this macro support line up here. That would take us up to about 175,000. We could wick above it to get near that 200,000. So might fall a little short, could overshoot and go higher. Most definitely, we could see a $200,000+ Bitcoin. That's the Bitcoin Bros opinion. And with that, let's close out hearing from Kevin O'Leary and what his thoughts are on the de-dollarization narrative that's been going on. Let's hear from Kevin.
I've been listening to the death of the US dollar since 1966. Every 2 years, somebody comes along and says, this is the death of the US dollar. You only have to ask yourself one question. If you're a sovereign wealth fund, I don't care what country, Middle East country, Eastern, Western Europe, where is the majority of your wealth right now? It's sitting in the S&P 500, denominated in the US dollar. Now, until that changes, there's no chance of another currency becoming the default currency of the world. People wanted to make it Bitcoin. That's interesting, but that's a speculation. That's not a currency. And so maybe a digitized version of the dollar, although that's going to be stalled out by privacy concerns, I think. Maybe a private version of that like USDC. But the basic unit of conversion of wealth and storage of wealth remains the US dollar. Ask any high net worth individual anywhere on earth where they want to put all of their money. Nobody tells you the yuan. Nobody says the euro. Nobody says the British pound. Nobody says Brazilian currency, Venezuelan currency. It's all the US dollar. I tell everybody that has a concern with this, get over it. Where do you put your money?
And there you have it from Kevin O'Leary. His take is that all this de-dollarization talk is FUD. The dollar is still the standard. Well, continuing to see narratives like BRICS currency versus the US dollar. We're continuing to see, the BRICS nations trying to, develop and recruit new countries to join their system. This is definitely the narrative. With this, does Kevin have a point, or is BRICS on the heels of the US dollar, or has it already passed it? Leave your comments below. With that, I'm Sean with the Bitcoin Bros. You guys like this content, go ahead and smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and show us some love. We appreciate the support. With that, that's all I have for you today. And I'm out.